Welcome back at the forefront. Judging from the public reception on its inauguration just 2 weeks ago, the Phase 1 of the LRT-1 Extension project is a big success. Apart from world-class new terminals offering convenience to commuters, travel time from Parañaque to Quezon City has been cut by at least 2 hours. But commuters are claiming that the lack of train coaches have made it difficult to get a ride in most stations. Is a solution to this setback in the works? To share good news in our transport sector is the President and CEO of Light Rail Manila Corporation, Enrico Benipayo. Good morning, President Enrico.
Good morning. You can call me Abek.
Abek.
For short, yes. Hi.
Thank you so much for being here today.
My pleasure.
And
yes.
first, perhaps you can share with us this 5 new stations of LRT-1 Phase 1 Extension has been publicly lauded. How much did it cut travel time from Parañaque, from Sucat to Muñoz?
Actually, of course, in the newspaper, it says around 2 hours. But just to be safe, I think at least 1 hour our riding public can be able to save. It depends on the time of travel, actually. But just to probably emphasize, compared to what we offer in rail, so definitely the travel time is shorter and it's predictable. I think that's one of the qualities of rail that the public would appreciate, predictability in terms of travel time and boarding and alighting. So it's pretty much better than other modes of transport.
And how much is the fare?
Okay, so end to end, it's 45 pesos.
Very
so
affordable.
Very affordable. From FPJ station to the new Dr. Santos station, it's only 45 pesos. And if you purchase the stored value or the beep card, it's a few pesos lower.
But is it true na kulang po yung mga coaches? If you decide to go on a rush hour, magkakaproblema po ba or is it mahabang waiting time?
Okay, two things though. First, before we launched the operations, so we were providing trains in 4-minute intervals. And during that time, the coaches were pretty much not too full. And that's the interval or headway, we call it headway, that we're maintaining for the moment. But in case, based on experience, if there is indeed queuing in the stations and trains are quite full, our system has the capability to increase the capacity to a headway of 2.5 minutes. So that's one. Second, because of our partners, the trains that were being delivered, actually being delivered by the grantors, the government, have arrived on site. So 30 new 4-car trains are here. And for the moment, we're able to exploit 19 of the 30. And hopefully by end of the year, all the 30 will be available. So not so much a concern. At least going into the holiday season, I think we'll be able to provide sufficient capacity.
And how resilient are the trains? If, for example, there's typhoon signal number 1 or number 2 or 3 in Metro Manila, will it still be running?
There are advantages of our line being elevated, so we're isolated from the floods. Of course, coming into and going out of the station is a problem, but
will you still be operating?
Yes, we will still be operating. Like during the recent typhoons, we were able to provide at least transport services to our people who were stranded. So I think we're more resilient, as you mentioned. Yes.
And what about people with cars? Are there parking areas in the train stations so that you can leave your car and then just take the LRT?
Yeah. Okay. The extension, we have 2 very unique stations. One is PITX, which is directly connected to the Parañaque Integrated Terminal Exchange, where the people can actually park their cars and take the train to Manila, to Caloocan, to Quezon City. And at our new South Terminal, which is at Dr. Santos, formerly Sucat, we have an intermodal facility that can be able, you can park your cars there. And in fact, we have bays for public utility vehicles like buses, jeepneys, UV Express. So we're really trying to interconnect with our transport system, providing first mile and last mile solutions.
And for senior citizens or people with children na kailangan ng strollers, are there accessibility solutions like, or do they have to take the stairs?
No, actually, our new stations are far improved in terms of being more supportive of our colleagues and of course, residents with physical challenges.
Yes.
So we have tactile pavements. So for visually impaired or visually challenged people. And we have conveyance like elevators and escalators in all of the new stations.
And do you have a figure or a number on how many people are being served right now?
Okay, some exciting news actually, and this was far greater than what we anticipated. In fact, during the past week of operations, from the regular riders that we have, there was a bump of around 50,000. And considering it was only a few days from the launch, so it's really, really very encouraging.
Are you seeing it getting full in the past week since you inaugurated?
Yes, I think if you look at the trajectory of the increase, I believe, especially coming into this holiday season, I'm sure there would be a lot of passengers, and we would like to assure them that we have sufficient capacity to provide enough trains to be able to convey them to their destination.
And this is just phase 1. So what is phase 2? What are the routes?
Okay, so our concession actually provides for building phase 2. So phase 2 is an additional more than 5 kilometers and 3 additional stations. So we're entering now into the LG of Las Piñas. So we'll have 2 new stations there. That's Las Piñas Station and Zapote. And then we're also now finally entering Cavite in Bacoor, Nyog.
Oh, wow. So end to end, if phase 2 gets completed, you have all the way from Muñoz, Quezon City hanggang Cavite.
Cavite and Nyog. So that's a total of around 32 kilometers that would be built in total.
When is the projected timeline to complete phase 2?
Well, that's quite a very difficult question to answer, but probably I would best answer it by sharing there are 2 considerations that would drive the completion date. One is, of course, the actual physical construction, which is dependent on right-of-way acquisition, relocation of informal settlers, and utility relocation. But the good news is, from the recent information we got from our partners, the government, so they've made significant strides towards realizing that. The second one is more contractual. So because of the impact of the delays in our construction, so we have to sit down with the grantors to chart a way forward and determine the viable solutions to be able to continue the project and realize the full benefits.
In the completion of phase 1, did you encounter delays and challenges with right-of-way acquisition, construction delays?
Yes.
You did?
Yes, definitely. And apart from that, we were hit by COVID, right?
Yes. So, gaano katagal yung naging delay from the time you started the project up until completion?
Based on our agreement with the government, we should have been operating, would you believe, in 2019, 2020.
Oh, wow.
So
that's
there was
so
a
early. Dapat before COVID
yes, before
operating
COVID.
na.
But of course, like any other large-scale infrastructure, the right-of-way acquisition is the main challenge.
Yes. Are you expecting the same types of challenges for phase 2?
Yes, like what I mentioned a while ago, I think the government has made some major strides in towards that direction, and we're hopeful that they'll be able to complete and provide us free and clear. And once that's done, and we've already charted a way forward, then I guess we'll be right back on track.
Okay. But you don't have an estimate, like when to complete phase 2? 2030, 20?
Very difficult. But this one is on the premise that, for example, all the right-of-way and all contractual matters have been cleared in the next 2 years, then we can probably start construction. Our estimate in probably construction would take another 4 years.
So mga total of 6 years then.
Yeah.
For phase 1, how long did that take total for everything?
The actual construction, it was around 44 months.
Very quick.
So
it was really the right-of-way acquisition and COVID that delayed it.
Yes.
And it took how long to
Actually, the COVID
complete?
impact was there. It was quite challenging, but because of our commitment, we really proceeded even with COVID. So construction actually, of course, there was a little lag, but we were able to recover and we're reaping the benefits now.
Yes. So total for phase 1, how many years?
Probably six years.
Oh, okay. So talagang that's a realistic
Yes.
estimate for phase 2.
Yes, 6.
What is the type of sharing arrangement with the government, between your company and the government?
But we try to achieve 50-50. In fact, in terms of physical assets, so we build the extension, they provide the trains, and they also provide the depot. So that's how we split the PPP arrangement, yes.
And what can we expect from LRT-1 in terms of, in the future, should there be overcapacity? Can you continue to increase the trains and the frequency of the trips?
Oh, yes, definitely. Again, we're still waiting for the handover of the new trains. So I think 1/3 will be handed over hopefully before the end of the year, and definitely moving forward in the next couple of years we'll be able to support the required demand.
And where are the trains manufactured?
Oh, it's a Spanish consortium, Japanese-Spanish consortium. The prototypes were built in Spain, and the mass production was done in Mexico.
And the security, is it privately handled, the security in the trains?
Yes. So we are in charge of course, operating the line, including the security. And for the new station, in fact, also in the old stations, we've installed sufficient CCTV cameras to be able to provide little sets of security for our public.
And is it also safe to bring children, small children?
Of course,
Merong
yes.
mga seats for, like, can you bring...
Oh, yes. Actually, our new trains, thanks to the government, are more advanced and more inclusive, if I may say. So
may space
there's an
para
area
if you have
for
like a baby
wheelchair.
basket.
Yes, there is.
What about pets? Do you allow pets?
For the moment, we're not allowing pets, but there are current discussions on the way with our regulators.
So even if they're in a container, like a crib or pet carrier, hindi pwede?
Yeah, for the moment, not yet.
Okay, and what would be your advice to people who want to take the train and are still not familiar with it?
Oh, ako ang advice ko, you better try this alternative. Again, it provides faster, safer service. I think we provided an atmosphere that would enhance the passenger experience, and it's predictable, which I think is very, very important for the riding public.
Okay. Well, I'm excited. I personally want to try it.
Probably.
Yes.
Can you tell me? And I'll probably escort
I mean,
you.
like, just to cut that travel time by
Yes.
an hour or two, that would really mean a
Yes.
lot. And thank you and congratulations again, Mr. Enrico Benipayo.
Thank you. And thank you for inviting me here.
Thank you for your time. The LRT-1 Phase 1 extension is just one of the many railway projects of the government to decongest traffic in Metro Manila. At present, the construction of these projects may be contributing to traffic nightmares. In the near future, its completion may be our long-sought dream of traversing Metro Manila traffic-free.